My entitled stepsisters stole my hard-earned money. Now they are both avoiding me like the plague because I got them grounded for a year. My folks split when I was 10, and my mother remarried a year later. My dad was in the military and was always stationed abroad. The man my mother married was Todd, and he had a daughter named Shelley, who was 4 years older than me, and Melissa, who was 1 year younger than me. I can understand and sympathize with Shelley and Melissa's hurt and abandonment issues from their mother, and why they were unhappy when their father remarried. During the summer and on weekends, I mowed and edged lawns and picked weeds for several elderly neighbors. I was also earning an allowance because I was the only one who did chores in the house. Summertime, I was pulling a little under $200 a week. When you are 12, that is a lot of money. Well, my sister saw how much cash I was getting and felt entitled to it since I was living in their house, and they did not like me or my mother. I tried talking to Todd and my mother about it, but they told me I must be misplacing it or spending it too quickly. Mom infuriatingly wanted to keep the peace and insisted that I was mistaken, and that Shelley and Melissa would never. I felt frustrated and alone. I thought about calling Dad, but it would only make him worry until I had a shrewd idea. When my folks separated, my dad bought me a small CRT TV and a PS2 to comfort me through my folks' divorce. What if they like my money disappeared? My birthday was coming up, and I had requested a game from my dad. He would be upset if I couldn't play it if the console and my TV were gone. About 2 days before my birthday, I rode out on my bike to Target, about a mile from our house, and dumped all of it in the dumpster behind the store. Lugging that little cart TV was a real pain in the ass. Birthday comes around. I called my dad to thank him for the game and the clothes he bought me, but I lamented that I didn't have a PS2 anymore to play the game on. He asked me to explain myself, and I told him my stepsisters had been stealing from me, and they likely stole the TV and the PS2. He pauses briefly before calmly asking me to put my mother on the line. A couple of minutes later, my mom came to my bedroom and looked around to see if the TV and the console weren't there. Todd, meanwhile, went to Melissa's room and found around $80, which she couldn't explain. Melissa promptly sold Shelley out in the hope of avoiding punishment. Since Shelley had a car, it was believed that she must have pawned both the TV and the console. In their search of Shelley's room, they found alcohol and cigarettes. Shelley correctly guessed I had orchestrated this, and I played dumb. Shelley and Melissa were grounded for a year, and Shelley was forced to get a part-time job. The next day, Todd gave my mom his credit card and bought me a new TV, PS2, and a GameCube. She also paid someone to lock my door to guarantee my privacy. My stepsisters avoided me like the plague after that. I see Shelley and Melissa once a year at Christmas. I wonder if they harbor some resentment over what happened over 20 years ago. Probably, but they started it and I finished it.